Hello. Hello everybody. Just 1 second. Oh good, you can hear me, that's good. Yeah, I've got all the same settings from last time, so hopefully everything will be good to go. Added a couple of you as mods, so okay. Alright, let's get things on the road. Oh nice, mod badge. As you can see, I've stepped things up a little bit, got a nice little starting screen. So yeah, I'm deep in the editing of this video now. Let me switch over. So for a bit of context, I did a stream last Sunday, which some of you might have caught, where I did a bit of video editing for the first time, mostly adding sound effects into the video quite early on in Mary's Minecraft Quest Part 6, which is the next episode that I'm trying to get out sometime soon. And it went down pretty well, so I thought I'd just do another one, seeing as I'm just doing some editing this afternoon. So this is quite a way into the video now. I'm actually quite close towards the end, but whereas last time I was right at the start. Have done a little bit of editing this week in between work and stuff. So, right. Last time I was just putting in sounds. This time I'm going to actually put in some video, which is the step that comes before that, of course. So the way I go through things is I like to put in the video first, sometimes with the music alongside it if I already know what that is, which in this case I've already chosen what music I'd like. That can be one of the toughest parts, honestly. But what I need to do now is put in some video. So this is everything that we filmed, and right now this is not very easy to look at, as you can see, but they're vaguely in order, so I know what I'm looking for in amongst everything. Hopefully this time I've changed a few settings. Let me just, can you hear this okay? Well, you'll hear some music in a sec. But is that a pretty good volume? These sound effects are from mfgg.net largely, which is Mario Fan Games Galaxy. I've been using them since right at the very start of YouTube, and they have a lot of, like, I guess it's designed for making fan games primarily, but it's very useful with all the assets that they've got on there. Cool, good that you can hear that. So yeah, you're gonna see me sifting through a lot of raw footage here, trying to find the right bits. And I also have, up in the background, I've got my notes in case I need to refer back to exactly what order things happen in, because we might have filmed things out of order slightly in just in the name of convenience, basically. So let's see here. As you can see, I've gone up to 202, and so from here onwards is what I'm going to be trying to put in today. So let's give a bit of context about what's going on in the episode as well. So by this point, the heroes have gone through a bunch of things, which I won't go into the detail of for spoiler reasons and whatever, but as you can see at the start here, they've come to Pina Park for the ending. Obviously I need to put in the sound effects of them going through there at some point, but that's what I'll do after I've done all the video. So they are now at a situation where they are working together, and their goal is to defeat the Ender Dragon. So I will not go play all of that right now. Might possibly come back to it if I get around to doing the sounds today, but there is a lot of video that I need to trim in. It's going to be quite a fast-paced scene, this one, so it's a lot of trimming going to be needed. So they've got a plan together, and that's what I'm now going to put in the clips for, so that they can defeat the Ender Dragon together. And the first part of that is so 203 was a bit of Kamek standing on top of the Ferris wheel, and his job is to lure the Ender Dragon over. And what I often do is I check the next couple of clips just in case I have other takes, because sometimes it's often more than one take to get something right. So I just scan through here to see what's going on. This is a clip of the dragon, so presumably we got 203 right the first time. So I'll drag that one in. And what he's doing, I'll mute the music for a second down there, because we won't really be in time with it yet. So what he's doing here is loading up his firework. I think that's ahead of time. Oh no, there we go, he's doing it again. So, and then that will be what I need for the take, is him firing it there. So that, if I cut there, you can hear the firework going off in the background, but that's not actually part of the clip, of course. So I think we do want a little bit of preamble of him looking around. It's going to be a little bit of intro to this scene. Like, for example, the clip that comes right before this is literally just a scene of some destruction that's going on in the park as a result of the dragon. I enabled super chats. I guess I must have done that a while ago. Thank you, Silver. Or Yoshi. Will there be any chance we get Yoshi's Quest? If there's always a chance. I don't have a plan for it right now, but it's definitely one of the top options if I do another Quest series. How do you test the sounds before you download? You can't. I guess it's quite an old school website, but you just kind of look for the right pack that you want, and if you've got a lot of downloads on it, that's usually a good thing. Suggests that a lot of people are downloading it. Have I played Mario Typing 2? No, I have not. I don't think I've played any of the Mario Typing games. I haven't even played those meme games from the SNES era, whatever they were. Luigi goes. No, Mario goes missing. That's the one. But obviously, I've seen a lot about those because they are popular for the wrong reasons, I guess. Okay, so there's the dragon flying around. I will just double check if that's the clip. It looks like there's another one that we went with here. Okay, so this is the dragon getting hit by a firework. So if I... Whoop, that's very up close. Is that part of the clip now? I need to work out. I think that was a bad take. I'm not sure though. Let's just see. So there's another clip here of... yeah, no, that's the next thing. Okay. Right, so let's drag in 204 because I know that we want that. That's the dragon in the distance. It's like a preamble to this scene that's about to come up. So at the moment the dragon starts moving, that's when I want to start this clip. pretty much. It's quite far away, as you can see. So I might not use all of this because it's quite a long clip. Just to show the dragon in the distance. I might just start from, it sort of does a turn there, so I might just start from the point that it turns. It's like, yeah, that seems like a good segment, I think. Okay, so let's see here. Obviously these clips are also a bit small, a bit quiet, sorry, is what I mean. I tend to turn them up for the final thing. It's just the way it captures them initially, I guess. I usually do it in bulk at the end, but I might do it as we go along. So that's going to come first, the dragon in the distance, then Kamek sees it and fires a firework. And this will be the scene where it gets hit, so I need to try and find exactly which part of this we want. I'm guessing it's just before it turns around and we see its schnoz in our faces. So that looks like it's okay. No, well, that's it turning, but it's not been hit there, so I guess it must have been this earlier part where it gets hit that we want. Give it a second. Where's it gone? It's just, that's how long some of these clips are. I often don't stop the recording because it's easier at the time. You never know when the moment's going to come. So yeah, I do need a little bit more at the end of that. How long does it take to edit? A long time. It takes me probably about an hour per minute of footage, and that's just for the sound effects, but the video has to come in as well, and the music choices, so it's probably more like twice as long in total, something like that. So the dragon's like, what was that? I think he's settling, trying to find Kamek here, so. And I quite like that angle, so yeah, I'll stop it there. That seems like a good clip to use. So, meanwhile, now we have this over-the-shoulder view from Kamek's perspective. Okay. So, in this scene, Kamek is... Obviously, he's fired the firework now, and the dragon's going to come towards him. I think that was a bad take, that one. So I won't bother looking through it, but... So let's see how this one went. I think that was the one we ended up using. That looks familiar, so... Let's drag that one in. So he fires it. So this is like firing a second shot now, after he's already done that first one. Would we ever do a Mario Party gameplay again? Potentially. I think we might possibly be doing a stream at some point, but we're still talking through the options there. But potentially not with my sister this time. We'll see. I would kind of like to do a stream like that sometimes. It's kind of getting into the streaming circle now. So obviously at the end of this, the dragon kind of hits me. I think I was in spectator mode, which is why I didn't get completely thrown away here. Yeah, you can see I've got like a phantom head. So yeah, at the point where the dragon slows down, we'll probably cut that, which is around about there. So yeah, the next bit is Luigi, but I think we recorded that while someone was switching characters, which, because we're just playing vanilla at the moment, that takes a quick second. So there should be a scene somewhere of Kamek falling, I think, unless that was all we went with in the end. Maybe that was all we went with. Sometimes I just have to check these things through to see what the final table was. This seems to be a little bit later now, so I'll just double check in case it was at the end of any of these, but I don't think it was. No, okay, so that's all we have of Kamek flying away then. So next of all, Luigi's doing something here. Would you see a plush video series again? Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely going to keep doing plush video series. At the moment, it's mostly been Minecraft for a number of reasons. Partly just we tried it and it went quite well the first couple of Minecraft videos we did, so it seems like people like them. But it's also quite convenient because we can do those online, and my sister doesn't live locally to me anymore, which is obviously kind of useful for the plush videos because they're hard to do on your own. So Luigi is nervous as always. I can't remember if that jump backwards was actually part of this or not, so let me just see, because I know we did have him go down there. So that, I think, yes, this was coming after. I remember now we did it in this order. So there's a view of Luigi looking up at the dragon with the dragon visible. And then, let's see here. Let's see how this one went. How many players are in the cast of this video? I just do the recording side of it, so then I have 3 people helping, which is my sister, my girlfriend, and my other friend. So the 4 of us get together and film these together. No, this was meant to go in that order, because you see the dragon like stand still and then it turns to face Luigi. So I did have them in the right order initially. And that might be a bit close there at the end, the way the dragon comes in, so I'll see if that was a bit late potentially. But anyway, there's one clip that needs to come before that. How is, oops, I think I must have accidentally held control there because I didn't mean to speed that up. Just wanted to trim. That's probably all I want from this particular clip, because he's not going to actually go backwards yet. How is Bowser controlling the dragon? That is with the star rod that he has, which is a big part of this series as a whole. So he sort of explains in the first part of this series about what that does. Can I get your opinion on my video? Yeah, sure. Let me just find your name and I'll open it in a tab for later. It's my favorite Pokemon, Goomy. I don't even know what that one looks like. That's a more recent one. I'm a bit useless when it comes after Gen 5. My favorite Pokemon is Dratini. Always has been for the last few years at least. But if we're talking shinies, then Dragonair is a great shiny. Let me just check the way these last few clips flow together. So maybe it might be a bit better to have a little bit of lead up into Luigi firing this, because it's a little bit sudden currently. So yeah, he's like kind of shaking here. We can get a bit more of that. Oh. So when he starts shaking is about where I want this clip to start. Yeah, like there. So maybe I won't have him shaking here, but just have him crouch, because I think he's crouched in this next bit. Yes, he is. Let me just check if he actually hits the dragon. Where's 209? Guessing that we didn't actually make him hit the dragon here, we just made the dragon come over. Yeah. Is there a scene of him hitting the dragon? I've chosen a very complicated scene to stream today. It's got a lot of different clips to it. So I think there's this bit of Bowser that's a bit later. I don't think I have one of the dragon actually getting hit here, so that's not necessary really. That thunder's quite awkwardly timed, so I might have to extend it into the next clip, because otherwise it sounds like it just kind of stops. So yeah, Luigi's got the dragon's attention, and he's going to go falling backwards here. Now, did we take multiple takes of this? That's the end of that clip, so that is a very slow descent there from Luigi. Oh, sorry, I missed a few messages. On your birthday, happy birthday. I have mods. There are no mods in this at the moment that we're filming. We are filming on an old version because it has the ability to turn into mobs, which is why we can actually be the Ender Dragon. It's I forget which version exactly. It's like 23W, 13A or B. It ends with A or B anyway, and it's a snapshot from last year, which lets you turn into monsters. So it's very cool. How old were you when you made your first plush video? I was 16. I had just started year 12 of school here. Are we doing a second Bowser vs. Wario video? Yeah. We might continue that at some point, but the first part didn't really get much traction, so we decided to look at other things. But that's just sort of the way we've been doing it, is when something gains a bit more traction, we're going with that a bit more, just because it seems to be what people want, I guess. But sometimes we can just get things wrong with the way we advertise a video or whatever, and that might be why it doesn't get as much traction. Yes, it is the voting April Fool's update that we use. So yeah, that's how. And the way you can sit on the dragon is by turning into a donkey first. You can then right-click the donkey person to ride them, and then the donkey turns into the dragon. It's really strange, but it works. So that's how we're able to do this in full vanilla. So let's see where. There's quite a lot of lightning in this, so I might later go through and mute some of this, just because otherwise it happens at weird times like that. That's at the start of a clip. Whereas I can probably just extend like the previous bit of rain and nobody will notice that it's not from this exact clip. So just before he sort of juts in that direction, I'll try and stop this clip. So he's still going in that direction. Now, okay, so that's the last frame of him going that way. Seems like a good place to stop that, because I don't want to do like 15 seconds of Luigi slowly falling down, as much as that would be kind of funny. It's not the best scene for that. This is quite a fast-paced scene. Yeah, for year 12 here is 16 to 17-year-olds, and year 13 is the last year. Is the way it works. Bowser's Quest and Warrior's Quest are also, I mean, probably less so Warrior's Quest, because people tend to have mixed feelings about him. I love him personally, but I think he's not the most popular character, so I'd probably tend towards either Bowser's, Goomba's, or Yoshi's are the top 3, probably, as options. So next we have, after Luigi's started falling down here, we've got Bowser starts to take his role. I think this was where we were testing where the fireball was going to appear. The way we generate fireballs is with command block type things. You can just type it into the console. So we were just checking that it lined up properly. So let's drag a couple of these in. So I think this is Bowser now getting the dragon's attention. I also think Wario is funny. Koopa is another good option for a quest as well. There's quite a few good options. So I think we did a couple of takes of this, because this is one of these destructive scenes that we love. So the dragon does that and destroys the boat that Bowser's on, but it was meant to get a bit more destroyed than that, so we had to do a few takes just to see which size of fireball was appropriate for this. And yeah, he's also meant to fall off. So we redid that a couple of times. So that was the one we went with, from what I recall. So those are the next 3 clips at least. And then there'll be one of him falling into the water here, which is now done from a different angle. And then there's a bit from Peach. Okay, so let's trim these ones down next. So I always look towards the end of a clip, because that's where I've generally got the bit that I need. So yeah, he's firing an arrow in this particular clip, like you might have just about seen there. So he steps forward, fires that. And this will be pretty quick fire, so let's see here. So obviously I don't need him standing still, I can just start from the moment that he starts to look active. So does the dragon get hit here? I think we did make the dragon get hit. Was that what we went with? Let's just see. No, okay, so yeah, as you can see there's an arrow going through the sky here. So that's the one that distracts the dragon next. So it's just flying. But obviously it's flying on the spot for quite a while, so I'll trim it to just the point where the arrow comes in. Then it turns around like what it is. And we didn't actually fire the fireball in this scene, we just cut. It can be quite complicated doing all these in one go, so. We've loosely based the quests around Paper Mario games, but it's not been the intention at the start. I guess for most of them, like I think the Paper Mario references were just the one that we ended up referencing the most in the first Mario's Quest. And yeah, the Thousand Year Door, obviously, because we decided we wanted Roadport in the second one because that's quite a cool area. I'm glad you like the bits with Wario and mine in the Quest Part 3, because yeah, I quite liked those as well. He was a bit of a joker. He does appear in this episode, but he doesn't do a lot this time. Right, so that's the next bit. I think yeah, that's what I was thinking. They've fallen over to the side. So let's just check all these. Just increase their volumes. So this is now the scene of Bowser getting the ship blown up. So that's... actually, when it's an explosion, those often come through pretty loud, so I might turn that down. I usually keep them about half. He does land in the water there, but we have a clip coming up where he's about to land in the water, so I'll probably cut to that. It's just about where exactly we cut. I'll do it roughly here for now. Ooh. I think some lightning basically hit me there. I can't remember if that was someone joking around or if that was actually random. Could be either. Okay, so where does he... That's his sploosh there, so just before that. I don't intend to base any quests on Sticker Star, at least not entirely. I mean, I have done references to Sticker Star in the past with the paperization, and that was in Luigi's Quest. So he sort of looks around a bit, but I don't think I want him walking off. So let's just cut that there. Now this is where Peach has her bit. So what she does here is she's relaying the message that the dragon has gone over this way. So she's passing that on to the next bunch for their part. And once again, there's a lightning strike just in this clip, which I think we deliberately did or waited for. Yeah, that's true. There isn't actually much to base off Sticker Star. It's a very empty plot, which is a big part of why people don't like it, I suppose. But yeah, we did reference that one power from it. I guess you could make like a sticker-themed episode or something, but I don't really know how it would work in plush form. I could use actual stickers. In the Among Us videos, there was a sticker or card. Oh, those were cards that I got with the Nintendo Online. No, not online. It was back before all that, I think. You used to be able to trade in points you got for buying games, and you'd get items delivered to your house for free. And there was like a set of cards that I got, which were used for that. That was pretty fun. You couldn't buy those as well. They were just exclusive through there, from what I remember. Mario, Minecraft, Among Us. All the combinations. Color Splash. Have I referenced anything specific? I mean, I've used a lot of music from it, but I'm trying to think if there's any specific reference. I can't think of anything, because it is also relatively new in the grand scheme of things. Yes, it was Club Nintendo, that was it. I didn't have the Uno cards, but I had a playing card deck, which was like partly transparent and really garish to look at, so it was kind of hard to work out what every card was, but they were pretty impressive. They were very dazzling. Yeah, I think I'll keep that lightning effect in there. I guess it has been a few clips since the last one. So 219, which has come over here. So now they are listening for Peach's signal. There was lightning there apparently. I guess that times fairly well with what was happening. So Donkey Kong does his bit, which is to push Mario. Sets off the minecart, right? Will I do GTA 5? It's not something that I've got any plans to do. I know people have used that. I heard that recently there was an actual live action, no, not live action, but it was in the cinemas apparently, something that was filmed in GTA 5, like a Shakespeare play. One of my friends went to see that, so that was interesting that that's a thing. But apparently I've not really heard anything about that online, so I don't know how it's been advertised or who its audience is, but they were doing a showing in London. So he does come out. Let me just check if that was... I think that will be the take we used, yeah. So we need him to come out of here. Just do a nice little clip. It should be an easy one. Minecart sounds are also quite loud compared to most other things in Minecraft, so I sometimes turn those down, although it didn't seem like it got too loud there. So let's trim that a little more. Still not quite, just don't really want too much waiting around in this scene. So those flow together pretty well now. Okay, so yeah, this is just a scene of him going around the back of the Ferris wheel to sort of highlight that. And what happens after this? There's just a couple more scenes of him going along the top, but I think we were cutting over to those. So yeah, he's sort of going up on this minecart to the top is the plan. Just gonna make sure I save what we've done so far. I do have auto saves on this every 2 minutes, but it's always good to actually make sure I save it. So yeah, we get the lightnings. We're just testing the position of lightning there, I think. So towards the end of this clip, he comes up. Past that. Oh, that was some natural lightning that just happened to come in there. It's quite a long scene of him just tootling along, but it's fine. So much lightning. Okay. Once or twice when there was lightning at a bad time, we did redo a scene, but that didn't happen much. Which bit looked cinematic? Was it the Ferris wheel bit or the lightning? Will there be a part 7? No, this will be the last episode of the series, yeah. And I'm hoping to release it in 2024. I'm very close towards the end here. so ideally I'll get that out this week. So these are just different views of Mario jumping out of the minecart now. So I think I'm going to come back to those. I might just drop them in, seeing as I know they're the takes that were good, but there's some other cuts that need to happen first. Oh, why did the dragon just teleport? See, this is what happens when I'm not in spectator mode. You notice the dragon just kind of threw me around there, which isn't very useful when you're a camera. So I think I probably changed into spectator. No, apparently not. I guess this was fine. So what's this scene? Oh yeah, I remember being like, where's the fireball? I can't see it, because you apparently can't see them from underneath, which is something I didn't know until this. I could see smoke, but not the fire. So I had to try a different angle after that didn't work. So I guess that was for when the dragon's about to unleash the final fireball. And what was this scene? Oh yeah, this is actually something that I need. This is him heading down. Ignore Mario flying through the skies. So we'll come back to that bit, because I think this took a few takes and there are other bits that need to come first. Anyway, we just filmed it in that order because we had Mario out already. So I'm just going to check my notes so that I can see which order we wanted everything to go. Okay, so before Mario goes up and equips the mace, I think he already had it actually. I changed the way we decided to do that. So this scene of in the fountain, Bowser's going to be joined by Peach, I believe. That's what this scene is. Yeah, so we'll cut that down. Yeah, that's pretty good actually, that worked out. So we'll drag that one back. That's probably going to go here. And so the dragon goes low to chase them is the one that comes after that, which was this scene here, I think. Yeah. So there, that's where it starts descending. I'll just take that part. Oops, dragged the wrong thing. And obviously I'll cut it before I start seeing inside the dragon. Just cut. So from the frame I cut, that frame is not in the video, but the one before it is. So I'll keep the one where you can see his eyes like that. Because that will probably look about right. And I think we need a little more lead up than that. Probably a little more than that as well. Let's just see how this looks. And then it switches back to Mario as he goes along here. This actually might be an example where I remove the lightning effect, but I'll probably come back and do all that at the end of this, because there'll be a lot of places where I want to remove that. So that is the scene. I'm just watching what's going on down there, which I might end up trimming. Yeah, it's going all right, thank you. Hope you had a nice shower. It's definitely showering in the video. Do I have a pack for the enemy to have Bowser's logo? I do have a texture pack that I use the custom one, which I'll probably release at some point. Not like release, but I'll probably give a link to it if I work out how to do that once like this project's done. I was intending to also release the world so that people could play around with it if they wanted to, and we have backups of the world where Pina Park isn't destroyed and everything, so you can still look around them in their original forms. How long will you keep doing videos? As long as I feel like it. And it's been 14 years, so I guess it's looking pretty good from that perspective. So yeah, we don't need this scene just yet, but I might just trim it because it's a bit long and in the way. You can see this is where Mario comes along there. But we will come back to that. So he's going along the top, and then let me check my notes again. So next I need Luigi looking on, and then the dragon getting a fireball ready. So that, I believe, this is the dragon fireball scene, isn't it? Just, yeah, it looks like there's some fire there. that was a test fireball. So that is what it's going to look like when the fireball is procured. So I think we wanted this bit for the dragon with the fireball. I might possibly extend that and quieten it, because I'll just see how it looks when I get the Luigi scene in. Was this useful for anything? Oh yeah, that is useful. Just not yet. So this is them bracing for impact, and I think that's the last scene before the was this one actually used for anything? Let me just check if there was a reason why I recorded an extra scene of them joined by Peach. Yeah, I think I just must have decided to redo this one. A lot of the time I spend going, why did I do this? Why did we do that? And just trying to remember things. So it does make it particularly difficult. I have no idea how, if I gave this editing over to someone else, for example, how they would even know where to start with things. So that's them just, yeah, I think that's what we want to use. Just checking if there's, no, there's nothing after that. Do they start stood up, or are they just, I think they're starting crouched down like this. So yeah, Bowser looks like he's saying something there, so let's start from that bit. It might end up being shorter than that because, again, this is quite a fast-paced scene, but for now that's at least going to cover it. Just don't need that very first bit. Just because it often looks a bit awkward if there's a bit too much gap before someone starts doing something. Just need to get about the right amount of time there. Okay, so that's the dragon with the fireball. Let's move those out of the way again, because I still need to find that Luigi scene. I guess this is probably the scene of Mario, yeah, landing, so I'll just drag that one in for afterwards. Where is Luigi? Here he is. Just swimming around. Just Ouija things. You can see this clip's like 2 minutes long, and I don't even think the take was in that, so it's in the next one, it looks like. What's this one? That's where DK joins him. Ah, yes. So I think this scene, those two follow on directly from each other. Just double check what the next one was. 2, 3, 8. Okay, so yeah, 2, 3, 6, and 7 are Luigi appearing, and Donkey Kong coming out from the side, which I think they should look about right if I put them next to each other. So where do we want this one to start? Because I don't want it to be too long. Probably about here, where Luigi's like moving. He's like, whoa. That might even be too long still. Yeah, I think that probably will be too long for. I'll probably. You can see that he's not actually moving his head there, but what we can do is put in sound effects, because he does move his head upwards, so it looks like it will work even though he's not like shaking his head. Always loved how you did Mario game related content, whereas everyone else did slice of life content. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, I guess. I never really watched much of the other kind of Mario plush tubers, I suppose, so maybe that's why I guess I've taken my own approach with it. I saw one or two which inspired me initially, and then I've caught a few as I've gone along, but never like sat down and watched every episode of someone, for example. So this is where DK comes out, I believe. It's almost like we were waiting for more lightning there. I don't think we were, but so it's just showing that everyone is here and is worried about the fact that the dragon's about to blow a big hole in the park again. So this actually can be cut further because Luigi's going to still be in the next clip, so his sound effect can continue there. What I will probably do is pretend that this lightning never happened, because it's a bit awkwardly timed. As long as it doesn't look strange that DK just appears, maybe it does a little bit. I'll double check if there's another take of that, potentially. Doesn't look like it. Okay, I guess we're keeping the lightning then. So I'll need to extend this so that it fits in. Okay. Okay, so that's at the very end. Then maybe just one last check of the notes, because I think that's now everything that's in a weird order. So all these Mario clips will come next. Throws the weapon down. Ah, yeah, there's reactions from Bowser and Kamek. Okay. Yep, okay, now there are a few extras that I've actually missed here. So this scene. Yeah, these things are meant to come a bit later. It's a good thing I have these notes on this thing, because there's just so many moving parts here. So that's where Mario looks down at what's going on there. Luigi watches in panic, actually is here. So I did have these in a different order. So put Luigi here immediately after Mario drives along the top. So I might do a little bit more lead up to that, because it's actually not as critical a moment as I was thinking initially. Could even do a little more just to show that Luigi's getting out around there. But maybe just trim a bit off the end. Okay. And that's a later one, but this one was actually needed. This was meant to come here. So let's stick that here and move everything else. Apologies, I can't see chat right now because I've got my notes open, but I need to make sure everything lines up. So do they both stand up initially? Let's just see how they end. Yeah, so they end squatted down. So just start from here and see what that brings us. Maybe that's the clip. Yeah, I think that's it. So that little snippet there with Bowser and Peach. Comes after the dragon starts doing the fireball. Peach. Okay, so we've got that bit done. Luigi watches on in panic. Is this one? The dragon procures a fireball, comes after that, which is here. The two look at each other, then look up, bracing. Maybe we don't need that scene. That Mario rides off from the top. Okay, so let's just put this out of the way for now because I'm still unsure if that's actually needed. And then we can start doing the Mario bits at the top. Third person view looking upwards of Mario descending. Okay, yep. That will be enough for now. Let me see what I've missed in the chat. I call my bomb bro General Hammer Bro. Very nice. Okay. So I think did we do a couple of takes of this, or is this just a change in perspective maybe for the next bit? So he stops here, gets out and jumps, and then I think we'll cut it around that point and then switch to this perspective here. So let's see towards the end of this clip. I think we did a few tries trying to make him land roughly where I was, but I was in spectator mode so that I didn't get blown away. 2, 2, 5, okay. So where does he fall down then? The mysteries of Mario's gone missing. Oh, there he is. That's interesting that there's a little noise segment there. I wonder if I should slow that down because he does come through pretty quickly. This is definitely a jump scare. It took me a while to try and track him down, and there he is. Yeah, this is less than a second, this clip. So I might trim it to about here. And then if that probably lines up about right. But I don't really want him to go through and see his inside of his head like that, so if I make that the frame that cuts off, then people won't see that. It's going to be a very, very quick clip though, so I tempted to try and show a bit more of it, because otherwise people don't have time to adjust to what they're seeing. So what I might have to do is cut this one back to about here. Maybe that works. And so we beat Mario's missing. We found him. He was lost in the section. Okay, so this is now... What's this bit? I don't think I need that. That's not meant to still be there. What number was that? Just 226. Okay. I'm fairly sure we already got that somewhere, because that's used yeah, that's used earlier. Okay. Now it's time to fill in the gaps. After this scene of him falling, let me check my notes again. We now need reactions from everybody. Throws down the weapon to kill the dragon. Yes, I think we now need this scene. This was an interesting one to work out how to film. This is actually, you can hear it flapping now. This is a real dragon, which is what we had to do in order to get this effect to come through. Which is a pretty cool effect. So I'm planning to leave in certainly most of that. Oh, it also makes a natural growl just before all that, apparently. Oh, wait, no, he missed. You can see Mario fell down and did not hit the dragon. We had to do a couple of takes with that, I remember now. Growling away, though. Very vocal dragon. Okay. So there's the kill. I didn't even see Mario falling down. But he is. Actually, look at how far away he is when you start to see the kill animation. I guess you have to be early to get it to land. I'm probably not going to turn this clip up because I think that's a really loud sound effect. Let's just see how this looks. Okay, so I think I will aim to keep that. And then we'll do Mario landing. Would make sense to be the next bit that we do. So I'm guessing this sound effect that you can see here is probably him splooshing from the land. No, apparently not. Okay. That must be some lightning. I guess the sploosh is a bit quieter. But don't worry, we're almost at the end of all the lightning scenes now, so... That's him making the land at the end. Okay, so let's just see that. Okay, that probably works. And now we need all their reactions to this. So this is where the Donkey Kong scene... Where's that gone now? I've lost that. Is that this one? Yes, okay. Oops. We're gonna have the weather clear up in a second. It would be ideal if there wasn't lightning in this scene, but seeing as we're not having to make it follow on directly anymore, I can actually just make Donkey Kong come out of there, and I can mute this. So let's just remove the audio so I don't accidentally bring it back. And then if I extend this one to cover it. Ah, yeah, wait, there's lightning, isn't there? Oh. Yeah, this is why I was going to do all that later. But what I can do is just copy it and paste it again, because it's not really much going on there. So it will probably sound about right. Yeah, it's just rain, so it sounds pretty natural. What day does part 6 drop? Well, I'm basically trying to finish it as soon as possible. I'm hoping to get it done this weekend, and it will be sometime next week. I do have a couple of busy days next week, so it might be Friday. I usually try and release on Fridays, but might even do Monday if it works out better. Could do a trailer. So this is actually, yeah, Luigi is going, oh yeah, in this. Oof, okay, we don't want that to do more lightning. So something like this. Let's just see how long we want them to be happy for. Probably not that long, because they're just kind of not doing anything after that point. So that seems about right. Extend that to there. Okay. So next, I believe, is the scene where it's going to clear up the weather. Which gives you quite a nice view. Wait, let me just, yeah, I don't think we do need this. I'm going to get rid of that now. Okay, so where do we want to start? So it starts pretty dark, like you can see here. So we definitely need at least this much dark, and then it clears up. Should be about enough clear. You probably can't even hear rain because I'm quite high up here, and you only hear the rain if you're near the ground, which is an interesting way that it works. So, checking notes again. There should be a reaction from Bowser, Peach, and Kamek. I did just delete that. Do I actually need that? I don't think it's really necessary. I might actually just take this one because it's too long as it is. This is meant to be them panicked. So I could possibly cut this partway into the animation, like put them over the top or something, and then have Luigi also reacting to it. I'll see how that looks, because it is quite a long animation, so maybe it's best to cut it. Just have it playing in the background so you hear it still. So obviously the downside to that is that you don't see the dragon going through that whole effect. You just see the end of it. So I don't know if that's better or worse. Do I plan to do a plush video soon? Yeah, I don't know exactly when. I think the next one is most likely to be something else in Minecraft, because there is one that I've been wanting to do but decided to get the quest finished first. But I also have a plan for a plush series that I'd like to do maybe next year, but it really depends on when my sister's around and all that kind of thing. And as for plush tutorials, I don't have a plan at the moment. My sister's done the most recent few of those, apart from the elephant fruit one, which I did last year, but we'll do them as they come up. I guess we normally like to do the characters that we need to make, or just ones that you can't buy a lot of the time, which is why they've been quite strange plushes that we've done more recently. Things like Dupless and Mimi. Yeah, you just come over Yoshi's. It'll just be a 5-minute trip. I'm undecided on whether I think I do quite like the idea of this cutting to them, but maybe I'll just shorten these so that you do see a bit more of it. Because then I can trim the end of that. I love how you see the face of the dragon. You see that the eye is just floating. That's just how the game works, apparently. The face just floats. So does that look about right, or does it? That's probably a bit too long of Peach just staring at the sky. Put that there. Hello. So yeah, then there's the clearing up scene. And what order do these happen? Bowser and Kamek is the next bit, apparently. Which is here. So now for the first time in this scene, this has some speech, so I'm gonna have to find the speech and put that in, because I usually like to do that alongside the video, because often those two things are very in line. You can hear a weird tapping, which is the horses jumping in the background. I might possibly cut that, because it's a little bit, it sounds like a ticking clock or something. It doesn't really sound like horses jumping. Oh yeah, I'll mod you on that account, 1 sec. I guess I need to find, what's the quickest way of getting to this video? Through the studio, maybe. Okay, mod. There we go. Sorted. We need more Mario and Bowser team-ups. I do like that. I try not to overdo that kind of thing. In fact, has that even happened really before? But yeah, it's definitely good. Oh yeah, of course it happened in Peach's Quest, because Bowser was one of the protagonists basically for all of that. What's my next Minecraft video? We have an idea that at the moment that we might do. These are not very finalized at all, but the version that we play on has potions that make you change your size. We have an idea of doing a video that revolves around like changing the size of everybody, and so like a tiny huge island type thing similar to Mario 64. Not entirely sure how it will work exactly or what the content would be, but that's the next idea. I'm not planning to think about it for a while, but there might be some ideas there. And the next series, I don't know yet. Oh, I think, do you mean the one that I mentioned? Yeah, there's one that I have vaguely planned, which I'm not really going to go into in case I decide not to do it, but I need to work out a lot about what I want to do with those, so. Goomzilla, I am a fan of yours, thank you. Yeah, this is a pretty chill stream, seeing as I'm not actually like playing a game or anything, it's just going through the editing process. Oh yeah, of course, I don't really want the horse. I think I'll probably just mute this clip because there's nothing I need from it. The horse sound. I could just make them quiet. It's like tense. Dum dum. So it starts with Kamek looking up and then Bowser walks on. That's maybe too little. Something like this anyway. And now let me find my voices. I think so. That's the Kamek voice that I need, and then the final Bowser one. So obviously I've recorded these separately. That's usually the thing I do after I've recorded the video footage. Sometimes I do it during editing, but I've got them all sorted now, I think, unless I've forgotten something. So he turns around and he's like,
he just defeated the dragon in one hit.
So that's what Bella says, and it finishes at not quite the time I was hoping, so might make it a little earlier.
He just defeated the dragon in one hit.
I think it's time for us to leave.
Yes, that finishes a bit too late.
I think it's time for us to leave.
Because he's like turning around, so this is quite important that I time that correctly.
I think it's time for us to leave. I think it's time for us to leave.
That clip clop, I'm going to beat that. It's actually just kind of annoying. This software is not free, but it's really powerful comparatively, I guess. Video editing is one of the most intensive things you could possibly do with a computer. It's arguably more intensive than a lot of gaming that you can do.
He just defeated the dragon in one hit.
I think it's time for us to leave.
So those seem about right now. So how long did this end up being, just out of curiosity, since the start of the dragon bits? That was here, was it? No. It's like 2 minutes. Okay. Interesting. It's a good thing I've got this music extended then, because I think my original version of it only had like a minute and a bit of duration. So that's what they'll do afterwards. It clears up.
He just defeated the dragon in one hit.
I think it's time for us to leave.
Yeah, so that looks good. Happy with that. And now there's a sort of final reunion type scene here. It's not the final scene in the whole episode, but it's the final clip of this scene, I guess. Is the way I tend to phrase it. I don't think I use the right filming terminology. But okay, so then they come in, like, oh yeah. And that's it. It's a very brief scene. And then the reason why it's done in 2 bits like this is because of only having 3 actors. So we have to switch out a fair bit. There are times where I've managed to do effects to make it not so obvious, but this one we just decided to do in 2 different scenes. That's generally easiest. It wasn't an important scene that needed us to do something more high effort. Okay, so yeah. It's a lot quieter now, there's no rain and thunder. It's just a bit of a trickle of water now from everything that's fallen apart. You're getting more RAM soon. How much RAM do you have? I think mine's 32, probably. This video is currently, let's see how long it is. I've produced the first couple of parts, which is largely just for performance. Whilst I was streaming, I didn't want anything to go wrong and have it crash, so I produced it in a couple of extra parts. So this first bit is 8.5, and then 6.5. So yeah, 15 up to here is like, this is the 19th minute. $64, nice. I'm not actually sure how much I've got allocated to this, but okay, so that, I believe it, well, that's the end of this, so let me just have a little check and see. Yeah, I think we probably need to fade to black now. So we'll do that. And the next scene is, if I find them, I think I've not brought them in yet. There's a few scenes still to go, a few clips, sorry. We only filmed these the other day, so I've not brought them all in yet. 2, 5, 6 and onwards is what we need. I will watch off stream, don't worry. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep editing it for now. So that goes to black. And then, yeah, these next few scenes, I think we probably have one. So these are meant to take place a little bit later, is the idea. It's just this one of the Ender man standing here. The Enderman's something I haven't shown off yet, but he's a character in this episode. So I think we first of all want this kind of layout here, probably. Just something that looks about right. Maybe I was trying not to get the Enderman in, that's what it was. Although it does look like quite a nice layout. So I might just cut so the Enderman appears a bit later or something. Because I quite like the idea of him being there. It's just, he's kind of in the shot as it stands. So we don't need to zoom in, we just need a little glimpse of what's going on. Okay, so yeah, something like this. Got a 3-second clip of showing the nice sunset now. So the park's obviously not fixed, but it's in a different state now that we're at this point. You're doing great, Goomzilla, thank you. We've got a few different clips that are happening at the very end of the episode here. Let's just see which. Oh yes, there's a toad in the background, isn't there? Yeah, we decided to have 3 characters in this little scene at the end. Let me just make sure we've got everything that's important here. Just need to make sure there's enough build up. 258. So yeah, I think that's probably all that we need there. we had a bit of fun trying to make the particles appear in the right place because they're sort of random and sometimes they just appeared in like over her face. So that's why we're doing that. Oh yeah, because sometimes they were appearing like beneath her. Okay, so yeah, the purpose of this scene at the end here is just to wrap things up at the end of the episode, and we've got a few clips of showing all the characters enjoying themselves in the like post game of the series. There's a nice clip there of Toadette chasing Wario around. I don't think I'll use the crouching bit, but, and then he starts flying anyway. We were in creative mode for most of this, but obviously that's not what we want to show. So I'll cut it somewhere around here, maybe after DK lands, just so that something. Where do we want it to start? Maybe like here, they're a bit more spaced apart. Yeah, I think I'll cut it there, actually, just to avoid it being too long. Then this is a scene of Luigi, Yoshi, and Boom Boom in the pool, splashing around. So in the game Super Mario Sunshine, this is where you fight that boss, the Mecha Bowser or whatever it is. So I just want to make sure I get the bit where Boom Boom falls down into the water. So what he does there is he's just sort of walking along and he's like, oh no, help. So I don't know how much of that we want to keep. Probably about this much, so he... Yeah, I think he just fades off the edge there. And then there's a quick scene of the cake. A little cake stand that's been set up. So Peach comes up to this. And she's like, "Oh, cake." And the policeman takes it. So that will have to insert somewhere. It could go at the end. And then I think we did a few takes trying to get the fireworks to work. But we do have a little fireworks display here. What's all this? Nothing there. So, yeah, if we were playing around with the firework effects to see what looks good. Was this one of the ones we tried? Those are a bit slow, aren't they? Not quite as excited. Oh wow, there's quite a delay on that. guess there's a deliberate delay with the firework noises. Thanks for stopping by. The credit music that I'm going to use is actually not credit music for the first time. I'm going to use the main theme of The Origami King, the title theme, because it kind of sounds like credit music, honestly. I wonder if they intended for it to be the credit music or something initially. I don't know for sure, I'm just supposing. Thanks for stopping by. I saw a clip of your video in the Plush Vengers movie. I don't know what that is, I'm sorry. Part 6 will release in 2024, hopefully this week, is my goal. So this might do, is it? It's 20 seconds long. I don't know if that's too long for a Fires display. Let's see how long the alternative one is. Oh no, okay. Needed to reposition. I think I'll probably go with this firework effect that's already here. It is quite long, is its downside, but could even make it start up. Actually, what I think I'll do is I'll make it start up and then switch to these two. Do I have a scene of... I don't think I have a scene of Peach coming in though, do I? 258. No, I don't have a scene of Peach coming in, but that's fine. I do have this scene of the Toad. This was, I think, just a bit of a joke, so I'm not intending to use this. I think at some point I will try and stream as filming, because it's an interesting part of the process. So, yeah, we don't want that. I think people have asked me about being involved in various collabs, but often I've not got time to contribute to that kind of thing. But I think I've done some with Shoney Boy in the past. He's the one who created the 25 Ways to Kill Yoshi video that you've probably seen from back in the day. He's done a few more recent videos that have got me in as a star. I guess a guest act role, sorry, is what I mean. Okay. I think I'm still... Yeah, so if we start with the slow bits of the fireworks. This bit would work pretty well over the top of the fireworks, I think. It's a shame they're not like looking at it though, so I might decide not to do this. And then that will fade to black most likely at the end there. Oops, not background images. So transition to black. But yeah, I'm not doing the credits bit right now. I don't actually have that filmed. I've got a plan for it though. Hoping to get that sorted tomorrow. So I think now it will look something like this. probably a bit too much blank space at the front of this as well. That works pretty well, I think. Okay. So at this point, I don't have any more video footage to put in. And the second thing that I go through and do is usually the music, which I think I've already... Let me just check what I put as the music for the end. Toad Town green streamer removal. Let me see. I've already taken that in. Music. I have not. Let me try and track that down. Did I learn video editing way before making this channel? Yeah, I can't remember when I first edited a video. I think I was probably about 13, technically. Although when I was younger than that, I did make videos on like a camcorder. It was kind of before the days of video editing software back then. So I would just film it like not continuously, but I would cut, and then the next scene would have to be perfect and follow on, and if it didn't, then I had to rewind and hope that it just about covered the correct part. That was a strange time. I don't even know if I still have copies of those, unfortunately, but the editing, I remember finding Windows Movie Maker on my laptop that I got when I was 11. And I think it was around about age 13 that I decided to start using it. It was less exciting than some of the other things I had, like PowerPoint was something I used to enjoy doing more. I don't know about Sticker Star Final Boss music. I can't remember which one that is. I think it's not bad, is it? I do use music from Sticker Star every so often. It does have a lot of like trumpety noises, which work quite well in some situations, but not in others. They just kind of are everywhere in that game, which gives it a style, I suppose, but doesn't always suit. So I use them where they're useful. And how long does it take to make a Minecraft video? I guess it's like a couple of months if you're talking end to end from everything that we do. There's obviously a lot that's gone into this video before this point. I'm only a few days away from this being finished now. So yeah, let's see. I need to find that music, that's what I was doing. So it's one of the Toad Town themes from the Origami King. Which kind of, it kind of feels like it has a party aesthetic to it to me. So that's what I'm going to put here. Probably just turn it down slightly. Sort of, I might need to shorten a couple of these clips because right now they do seem a bit long for this. There's the fireworks that come in. Just see roughly how it's timing. That times pretty well there. This music is quite similar to the choice I've got for the credit theme, so hopefully it doesn't sound strange that those follow on from each other. I could even see if there's a way I can, because this is what I'm planning to use. It's like the full version of that. I do have some clips behind the scenes of Luigi's Quest. I might possibly do that at some point. Probably should have done it with the anniversary, shouldn't I? Just wasn't top priority compared to some of the other stuff that was going on, so. Police Toad is very sneaky, isn't he? I do like that. So let's check, see what else we've got here. So obviously there's some music that I muted whilst we were doing all of the clips over here, but there is music that goes over this bit. So I need to decide at what point this comes in. It's going to be a little bit of filler. So it could be there at the moment this scene starts. But it could be the moment the camera gets the dragon's attention. So let's see how that looks. It means that there'd be a bit of quiet until then. Oh, that's probably too long of a wait actually there. No, it would be a little bit later than that if we did go with this. But not as late as that. It's hard to time these things. I think this probably works quite well. So I might need to speed up some of these or cut bits because I think this bit the dragon can just turn to him immediately, even though he's not actually hit it in this particular clip. So let me just see how that looks now. Maybe that's too soon. But I don't like the way he doesn't crouch for long enough in that scene. It's too sudden. Okay, let's go with that. So that's essentially the music. It loops a few times, but that's what I want to use for this scene. So let's see how it looks with. At this point, we'll probably end up turning off the music. That seemed like a good stopping point, so I'll probably do that around about there. Like fade it off just as this is happening. And this bit can probably go without music. It's not too long of a section.
He just...
Yeah, we'll keep that without music. And then it leads on to this bit, which can be like that. Okay, so that'll probably do with the music side for now. What I might do is start putting in some sound effects for the first scenes here. What's my battle music for the Bowser battle? Do you mean what comes earlier than this? I do have some other music choices. Let me see which one I used. A lot of this, the idea is that I've gone with the King Ollie themes from the Origami King. I've paralleled those with the dragon because there's like a bunch that are a similar theme, so they sound like. Although I haven't actually used that particular one because it's too slow for any of the action that's going on, but those few notes, they're used in a few places. Let's see what else I've got here. Was it this one? I've used that. That's used in a couple of places when the dragon starts revolting, I guess. So Kamek, I typically don't put sounds in for often. I like to keep him fairly quiet. Okay, so right, let's start putting in some Mario sounds. So for this, I'm going to order them by duration. It often requires a different frame of mind for this part of the editing now, so let's see, that's an option. You could just do it, yeah. Probably will go with that for now. Or he might be, there are some long variants of those which might be slightly better. Yeah, let's go with that. It's a little bit more enthusiastic for this point. And then Bowser needs to do something. So let's find something slightly longer. Those ones sound a bit aggravated, so that's not too bad. It's a bit too early though. So this is an example of where, even though we've only got 3 actors, I've done a little bit of trickery to make it so that it looks like there are 4 people here. Kamek, Mario, Bowser and Luigi. There's a couple of other places in the video where I've done that, but it's essentially by doing a bit of layering. I was worried that with the rain it would be obvious, but I don't think it is too obvious that I've done a little seam there. So yeah, Luigi next needs to say something. Yeah. That seems about right. I mean, it's similar to what Mario said, but maybe I could find something slightly longer.
Cool. Yeah.
He's not like super happy right now, so I'm not gonna go, yeah. That's maybe a better option because it's slightly longer, which fits the fact that this is quite. Yeah, let's go with that. And then we need some dragon noises. So these are, what's that? It's the dragon getting hurt. Okay. So these are quite loud. I'm gonna have to quieten them down. So there's one that's a bit more sudden, this one. I'm going to use that after the dragon takes a hit, which I believe is here. So I'll just drag that in for later. This one's a good intro one, it sort of roars up, so I'm going to put that one in first. Are you doing another top 5 comments video? I did quite like the idea of that, and I was kind of surprised by how many people commented on it. It was quite nice to see so many people commenting, so I might do that again at some point. But I'll try and see if there's a different format I could take, so it's not exactly the same thing again. Similar to like how I've done 2 interactive videos, but with slightly different formats each time. And we're getting more Mario plushes. There are a few that we got last year. Well, actually, no, it's this year, sorry. My sister went to Japan and got a few cool plushies. We used some of them this year in the 1000 Year Door tie-in video, the Glitz Pit one that we released this summer. So there's like Wiggler. Oh, we also used Dry Bowser in the Luigi's Quest remaster. So there's a couple of nice ones that we got this year. So she picked out some good ones. Is this quest series going to have a theme to contrast the other quests? Yeah, this one I tried not to go too deep with the story. I tried to, because I think I managed to overcomplicate Peach's quest. So my approach with this one was to keep it a bit more straightforward. But it's, I guess you've probably seen most of it so far, so you'll have an idea of what it's about to an extent. Those are interesting themes, I guess. I've not really thought how I would sum them up in like one word, but there are definitely themes with all the characters, especially I think Luigi's Quest I've put the most into like character development, especially in the remaster. Then in Peach's Quest, there's a few things going on, especially the dynamic between Peach and Bowser. I think I made a note of ones that I could think of, but yeah, those have got a lot of thought into them. There's slightly less in this quest series, but there's still some cool things with the Enderman, who you haven't really seen yet because it's scenes that I've already edited, but the Enderman appears in this, and I think he's got an interesting personality. I probably did call the dragon a he. I don't know. It's whatever. I try and call it a she in the video, so that's the main thing. The Glitz Pit video was awesome, thank you. And the Peach's Quest story is great. Yeah, thank you. What's your favourite Luigi's Mansion? I have only played the first one. I do actually need to get the one that's on the Switch, the remake of the second. It's because those came out on consoles I didn't really play much, 3DS and stuff. I never really played those all that much. Yeah, Luigi's Quest is so in terms of Luigi is in the shadow of Mario most of the time, so that is one of the big themes about how he now has to step into the spotlight. But then in doing so, he gets someone else who's in his shadow, which is Captain Toad. And there's a whole thing about how Captain Toad is useless and all that, or you're number two you're so looked down upon. But towards the end of Luigi's Quest, he has his own ways to shine as well. Still dreaming of Waluigi's Quest one day. That would be the goofiest quest I could possibly come up with.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's I think the very first scene. I try and not make it overlap too much with the music. Let me just check if that was... It does get a bit quieter, the music there, so I might also turn down the Ender Dragon to not make it too... I really wish there's an easy way to do that. Maybe there is, and I've not found it. Can I like press the arrows or something? No. Okay. So I was just going to make the dragon stand there. It means that I could like shorten one of these sounds and put it in. Like if I take the first bit of this, that's an option. And just you can sort of fade them out. Sometimes it does not work at all though, so I'll try it and see. If it doesn't work, I'll her. That actually works pretty well, doesn't it? I could even make it a bit longer than that. Not that long. So this is the volume control, of course, here. So I'm just making sure that it goes quite at the right bit. Yeah, that works pretty well, doesn't it? So let's just see them together. We've got the dragon coming in. Might actually extend it a little longer than that even. It seems like it works pretty well.
Watch out.
So yeah, I need some sounds for these guys coming in now. Kamek, again, I won't, even though he's kind of the star of this scene, I'll keep him quiet mostly unless he has to say something.
What?
So Mario's probably going to go, hmm? they know that the dragon's here, of course, so it's not like a surprise kind of it's just a like, wait, what's it doing now kind of
Watch out.
And then Bowser can say something after the watch out. Something very sudden like rah. So I'll check some of his DMG sound. These are probably a bit long, most of these. But then these ones don't sound sudden enough. Maybe this? Let's see.
Watch out.
Let's see, it is quite long, isn't it? See if there's any others. It's like a sort of noise though. That could work.
Watch out.
It seems quite loud in comparison to Kamek though, so maybe I'll turn up Kamek. It's kind of clipping a bit though.
Watch out.
So I might just turn Bowser down.
Watch out.
Honestly, on a high level, the theme of this is mostly just about the combination of Mario but in Minecraft and just the different things you can do with that. It's less focused around the story themes this time around. There are a couple that pretty minor things, like to do with the Enderman, for example, which you've not seen yet, but the reason I think Luigi's Quest is about bravery is because Luigi wants to like be like his brother Mario. Yeah, it is exactly. It's like, and now he's suddenly forced to be like his brother Mario because Mario's been taken away by Bowser. Like the Minecraft movie. Who knows what that's going to be about? It's mostly going to be like, whoa. It just kind of looks like one of those Minecraft in real life skits from the earlier days of YouTube. But what's my favorite Pokemon? That did actually come up earlier. It's Dratini. But if you're talking shinies, then I like Dragonair the most. It's a pretty cool shiny. Goombas as clowns. So yeah, we've got a Toad here who's looking up at this, and he's going to go around about here, up to, you can see where the impact's going to be. So I'll see how long a sound I can find for that. Some sort of. This is not a bad choice. It's quite long. But it's got quite a few different segments. I just look for the other terrified Toad noises. That could actually be better. And then one from actually getting hurt here.
Yes!
Not that. So, one of these owls, probably. There's quite a few owls.
Ow! Ow! Ouch! Ow!
That's a very owie owl. So we need to make sure that's a bit later. Somewhere around here. So he's sort of fallen down in the hole. I might trim that a little bit. Or I could put in like a faint Toad moaning noise. Like, is there a crying noise or something? I think there is. Like a. Which one is that? It's like scared. Scared. After he's fallen down. he's off screen at that point, so it sort of works that it's a bit quieter. Ever think of using Mr. L? We have got Mr. L in an episode that came out this year. That was the Glitz Pit video. So, yeah, give that one a look. So yeah, we need a sound for the start of this. Yeah, the Glitz Pit video was done to tie in with the Thousand Year Door remake, and Mario teams up with Goomzilla and they fight a bunch of different characters to climb up the league, and there's a mystery alongside it. It's actually quite a long video. It's the longest single episode that we've done. I think it probably ended up being slightly longer than I wanted. So that maybe there's like an oh no that we can find for this. These ones are a bit quieter. I have also used that in an earlier part in the episode, so I'm just going to see if there's another one that I can go with. Like a kind of huh? Or, yeah, that could do. That's a little bit loud compared to the rest, so maybe the owl can be a bit louder. So I quite like showing that, the way the water like flows out from here because the explosions just happened and there's fire everywhere. So I'll keep that, I think. Of course the rain puts out the fire pretty quickly, but so let's just see who needs to talk most urgently in this scene. So Bowser's going to say something at the end. Kamek looks like it might actually be a good time. Yeah, because as I say, I don't make Kamek say much often, but that's probably a good place for it. Just witnessed a huge explosion right in front of him.
The horror.
The horror.
The horror.
So there might actually be room for Mario to say two things, because I noticed him shaking his head towards the end of
The
this.
horror.
They're quite small in that scene, so it's harder to see, but it will be noticeable to anyone who's in like a full screen when they're watching it. So could use like might be a bit long though.
Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Mamma mia!
That's the one from.
Mamma mia!
That one's the shocked one.
Mamma mia!
Could go a little bit more down tone. Maybe this even needs to be shorter. This.
Mamma mia! Mamma mia!
So I can make that a bit earlier.
Mamma mia!
So, and then Bowser will say something, so let's just check how that fit. That's actually not a bad one. Just kind of him slightly relieved almost that they've not been hit, I guess. How many plushies do I have? That's a big question. I haven't counted them. If you check the plush collection video, I show off everything that I had at that point, which was only 4 years ago. So in addition to whatever you count from that, there's probably, I guess my sister did bring back a few this year, extra ones. You could probably add roughly like between 5 and 10 to that. Because I think that's the only time we've got new ones since then was this year. Oh, unless you count things like the elephant fruit. The voices are from a website called mfgg.net, which is, it's been around for a while, that website. And so I've used it since right when I first made Bowser's Mushroom Factory. But it has a lot of sound effects. Just search for which game you want, and you'll be able to find voices for various characters. Making a Dementio plush. We actually, in Peach's Quest, we drew parallels between Tripliss and Dementio. If you recall anything from Peach's Quest with that, there was a Duplighost who we called Tripliss, and in a lot of ways we made his character like Dementio. We used a lot of the themes and sounds for that. So I don't know if we would actually put Dementio in as well, but if you like Dementio, maybe check out Peach's Quest. Definitely not if you like Dementia, though. That's hopefully Peach's Quest doesn't have any of that.
Mamma mia! Che horror!
So I don't really like that overlapping there.
Che horror!
I think I will cut the start of it slightly. So let's see how this goes.
Mamma mia! Che horror!
So now Kamek's going to stand up and get this. So I might actually give him another effect. Yeah, so those sound effects are from Super Paper Mario, and then that one, the cannon, is from Mario 64. So Mario needs to say something in the background of this. But I don't know if I want to interrupt the whole firing sequence, so might do it at the start. Oh no, he says the horror.
Che horror!
Maybe at the end then is a good time for it. So we can go like... Is there a... Does the whoa, any of those whoa sounds? No,
Wow.
that's not right for this. That's too... So...
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
I think that's probably too long for this, really. Let's see.
Whoa!
Yeah, that doesn't fit.
Whoa!
Maybe just try this. So that's kind of loud, isn't it? Oh, well, that's the one I dragged in earlier. That's why it's quite loud. Okay, so probably not that quiet. I can go for the -3 or something. So let's see. Mario's gonna probably be like, oh.
It's vulnerable to our attacks now.
And at that point we need him to go, oh yeah. And you might notice Luigi's kind of snuck in the background of this scene, so I'll put a Luigi sound in as well.
Whoa!
It's vulnerable to our attacks now.
So some very happy, oh yeah.
Woohoo! Yippee!
Let's see.
Yahoo!
So some of these are really long, like I don't think that's appropriate.
Oh yeah!
I could even do like
Here we go!
the one that's from Mario 64 could work.
Here we go!
now.
Here we go!
Potentially. So yeah, Kamek's going to turn around and make a noise. Which one do we want?
It's vulnerable to our attacks now.
Here we go!
No, I don't like that actually. So what are the kind of fairly long, but not as long as that, happy Mario sounds we got?
Ah! Oh yeah!
I could look for, so there's a bunch of sound effects for him like going through the gold in Mario Kart, which is these ones.
Okie dokie!
So potentially something from there.
Oh yeah! Mario #1!
Probably doesn't need to say Mario #1 though.
Oh yeah!
Let's go with the start. The oh yeah from this seems like
Yeah.
pretty good. But then we don't need those bits, so cut those out.
Attacks now.
Oh yeah!
And Luigi needs to probably say something similar.
It,
The Kamek yeah sounds funny. Yeah, so these are like the only Magic Koopa sounds that have been released pretty much. I mean, there might be a few others that I've missed somewhere, but these are, I believe, from Mario Super Sluggers, which is a sports game from about 15 years ago now.
it's vulnerable to our attacks now.
Might make that slightly louder.
It's vulnerable to our attacks now.
Oh yeah!
And then
Now.
Oh yeah!
let me just extend this slightly because Luigi might be able to squeeze something in at the end. Oh, he crouches though. That's unfortunate timing. I don't really want him to crouch. So if I trim it to that point.
Yeah! Ha! Oh! Ow, ow, ow!
Maybe just
Oh!
a sort of surprised oh.
Yeah! Oh!
Or I kind of, maybe I need to make humor out of the fact that he's just randomly in a hole in the background.
Wow!
So we can go wow instead, because that sounds a bit of a funnier sound.
Wow!
Or this one maybe.
Oh yeah! Wow!
Make it a bit quieter.
Wow!
Okay. Is Peach's Quest Part 2, were you planning to do Part 5? Oh, yeah, so in Part 2, we looked ahead at Parts 3, 4, and 5, and we were saying, oh, the next part will be here, and then here, and then here. And for Part 5, I hadn't got any plan of what it was. I just knew that I wanted something to do with trees. So rather than make any kind of scenery, I just did a quick clip from outside, but if I did a remaster of Peach's Quest, I'd probably replace that with something that's actually from the right scenery. Do you have plans to make videos with your dog Nova again? I don't know, to be honest. I think it was probably just a one-off, because we kind of did everything that came to mind. We had a few things that we wanted to show off involving like what you could do with a plush video with dogs, and it's yeah, so we got a few doing a bunch of different tricks and reacting to them, and I think there's everything covered off with that for now, to be honest. But if you do like Nova, then she does have a TikTok and an Instagram that you can follow. I guess the Instagram's probably where she's most active if you look for Supernova Noodle. She was indeed a wonderful actress. Not that you're biased or anything.
It's vulnerable to our attacks now.
Oh yeah! Wow!
So maybe Mario needs to say something else here. So like at the start he can be like, hmm?
Hmm! Hmm!
And I'll maybe try and time it when he moves his head, so I see.
Hmm! Yeah!
Yeah, a bit later then.
Hmm! Yeah!
It's vulnerable to our attacks now.
Oh yeah!
And Luigi does kind of move his head around a bit there as well.
Yeah.
It's vulnerable.
So I might just put a short sound in. Hehe.
What? What? Huh?
Where's the... I always try and find this sound effect. I need to rename it because I always forget what it's called. It's like Hua. Is it called Hua?
What? Huh?
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah. Huh?
It's vulnerable.
I don't really want it to coincide with the speech.
It's vulnerable to our.
Yeah. Huh?
It's vulnerable to our attacks now.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Something like that. So the dragon now goes up. Oh yeah, Hula has posted some social links for Nova. So we probably want to coincide that with the going up part. Is that the best of these? So there was one that I already shortened earlier, which I might just try and nab for this. It's this one. Put that there. Just a bit of a snarl initially, and I can make that a bit shorter than it was in the other place. Maybe even shorter than that. No, that's too short. Always a game of balance. Bowser, Kamek, and Koopa time travel to defeat and capture Mario, but when they return, the world around them changed. Interesting. If you change the past, then the future changes too. Maybe there'll be some new ruler in charge if they did that. Wait, what? Why am I not in charge of the evil realm anymore?
My king, you're missing. You can't be in two places at once.
So yeah, Peach comes in now. So let's have a Peach sound for the entry.
Huh? Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of her sounds I've got are from Super Smash Brothers, so they sound quite aggressive, some of them, so I don't use those as much. But this one might be better. Like Solus has Mario's powers, oh gosh, yeah. So she might just be reacting to the fact that there's ruin. Like, I like this shot because you've got it saying pin up there rather than Pina. Even though less than a minute ago it was saying the proper thing. So,
Oh.
some sort of disappointment or...
Oh. Okay.
but not like that. That's a bit too long. I'm trying to think what I've got with Peach.
Yeah.
A lot of hurt sound effects.
Ow.
That could work. It's quite short, but it shows some surprise. But it probably needs to come a bit earlier. So maybe a little huh for her for her like looking at the sign specifically. One of these. A bit earlier. And then when she sets off here, one of her more determined sounding voices.
Okay. Okay.
Not quite what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Excellent.
So there's one where she says "all right,"
All right.
which I've used earlier in the video for a similar thing, so I'm going to avoid using that same one again.
Oh yeah, Luigi. Splendid. All right.
That one's too happy though. Let's see what else we got here.
All right. Okay.
A lot of these just sound quite happy, the options.
Woo. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh.
That's maybe fairly neutral.
Oh.
But it does also still sound quite happy.
Oh.
I could do the "let's go." No, I used that as well. I'm going to use the "all right," I think.
All right.
Not that one. It's called "all right 2." Okay.
All right.
And then here she stops because if you look very closely, you'll see that Luigi is still there in the ground. Like a huh? And then she does have a couple of sounds of her saying Luigi.
Luigi. Luigi. Luigi. Luigi.
So
Luigi. Luigi. Luigi.
that one's like a "what are you doing here" most sounding one.
Luigi.
A bit later.
Luigi.
So then Luigi can say something funny in return.
Gucci gucci. Wow. Oh yeah. Oh well.
I mean, that's an option. Let's see if there's anything better. So if he goes,
Luigi.
it's like he's a bit dazed about the fact that he's still down there.
Luigi.
And then I can cut that.
Luigi.
We need.
I love that sound effect. The Mario and Luigi games have so many fun sound effects.
Need a strategy.
So let's just check the start of that bit.
We need a strategy.
We need a strategy. Sure, that's
We need a strategy.
And Mary says, "Oh yeah." or
Oh
something.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey Goom, it's always a treat to see you uploading. You've been one of the reasons I've got into voice acting and mimic your voice lines. That's cool. Listen up, my minions. This generator is vital to our plans. It will get rid of that Mario forever. Did that bring you back?
Oh yeah.
Need a strategy.
So Mario needs to say something here, like. That sounds like, yeah, duh. Of course, we need a strategy. Okay.
Woohoo.
So there's another sound which could work. It's maybe a bit dismissive.
Strategy. Strategy.
But I think it works quite well. A lot of other options would be like, "Oh yeah."
Strategy.
That brought back memories. You're welcome. So Peach comes in and says something. Probably one of these. These are fairly like breathy sounding, so they're quite good for passive scenes. Wait, Mario's still nodding his head, I've just realised. maybe that's not a problem when you see it in one thing. So he's now going to be quite surprised that Peach is here and holding that weapon nonetheless. That's the one that I like for his more surprised. So put that there. So then there's my bespoke Peach sound. Peach! Peach!
Peach. Peach.
So I think there's a longer sound which would work well. One of these two. I love these two sounds. They're both really nice to use. It's probably a little bit after the lightning happens. Okay, right, let's rewind slightly now. I need sounds for...
We need a strategy. G.
So Kamek should probably say something here. Yeah. It looks like Mario nodded and said that. So what could Peach say here? It could either be something really small and like... Or it could be something kind of like, hi.
Hi!
It sounds like Kamek gets surprised when Peach arrives. I guess that's a good thing.
Hi!
Oh, wait, I still got that in.
Hi!
Peach.
So,
Hi!
Peach.
if I can find a slightly longer sound effect to fill that gap, because right now there's a little awkward pause before Mario speaks.
Hi!
Peach.
Guess it's not that awkward now I've moved that. How do you add voice acting? I use a program called Audacity, which is free and is pretty good. So I think I've got it set so that it will appear just here. But literally I just tap record and it starts recording stuff, and I tap record and it starts recording. Yeah, so it's very easy. But, so yeah, I just sit here and you can add various effects. Like that's for Bowser's voice, for example, I just decrease it by 2 octaves. Is it 2 half octaves? I think it's 2 half octaves, sorry. But yeah, that's how I get my voice turned into Bowser's.
Hi!
Peach.
Should Kamek say something? Or Peach could go.
Yeah! Hi!
Peach.
Yeah!
Maybe like at the moment that she turns here.
Peach.
Yeah!
I like that there's a bit of a pause before Mario goes, but there's too many other pauses right now. So.
Hi!
Peach.
Yeah! Hi!
Peach.
Yeah!
That sounds a bit robotic, doesn't it? They're equally spaced and so I need to... So maybe if I make the high come right next to the P.
Hi!
Peach.
Yeah!
So like this.
Hi!
Peach.
Yeah!
I don't know if Kamek needs to do a noise. Might come back to that one at the end. I always do a final run through anyway, but I think that's probably good enough for now. And now look who it is. It's Donkey Kong. I've been using Audacity for a long time. I think I just tend to find something that works pretty well and get comfortable with it. So there may very well be more modern things I could be using instead. But obviously it has the advantage that it's free as well. So what does Donkey Kong need to say? We need something from... So he's like kind of coming in here and making them look up at the fact that he's been doing up all this roller coaster. Okay. Let's see here. What time is it? It's 7 o'clock. I'll probably be having to stop fairly soon as it is almost dinner time.
Yeah!
So something for Donkey Kong coming in. Are people behaving? Yeah. Mostly. I've not played anything in the mainline Donkey Kong series, which is probably partly why I'm less attached to him as a character, but he was pretty popular and he had a nice Minecraft skin, so we decided to put him in this quest. I feel like I could have done a little more with his character potentially, but it's harder when you don't know him as well, I suppose. So he does have a few characteristics, like we made him so that he's scared of sudden noise and or like when he doesn't understand where something's come from. It's one thing, and he kind of has an idea and sticks to it is very much a part of his personality as well. So like at first he didn't want to join Bowser, but then Kamek persuaded him with some berries, so he moved on over and he's like, yeah, sure, that sounds good. But then in part 2, Kamek did betray him by setting his jungle on fire, so he's like, nope, you're bad now. That's that. Who voiced Mimi? That was a friend who used to be a big fan of the channel, who would comment on everything. So yeah, so that was actually a voice that wasn't done by my sister. So yeah, Mimi was voiced by Yoshizilla's sister, actually it was, which is quite nice of her and of Yoshizilla to offer. Exactly, like the very same Yoshizilla. And yeah, there was also Daisy, who's in that series, who was voiced by a friend, so had a couple who have come in. But more recently, I think it's mostly been Sarah doing female voices. My sister, that is. This is going to be tricky. So that sounds like a good sound effect for him looking up. So yeah, this is like them getting their strategy together. So yeah, so Mario can now be like, he's kind of surprised to see Donkey Kong here as well. So we've already used the not that one, so there's a few more surprised ones, but I used that one quite recently, so I don't want to use the same one in the same context.
Wow.
It's not quite the right. I kind of want a bit more realization. Do I have any called surprised? No, I don't.
Ooh. Whoopee!
None of these quite seem right.
Woohoo! Whoa! Oh yeah! Boing! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
So, what would be the best?
Yeah! Yee! Whoa! Oh! Oh!
Yeah, that's probably the best thing I've got, I think.
Oh!
Thank you for joining. Have a good rest of your day. I will look at the video off stream if that's alright.
Oh!
So what does he say here? So some initial kind of hopeful. So yeah, all good there. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Still making videos fairly regularly, although you could probably catch up with them in the space of a day pretty easily. So yeah. So let's see who goes. Oh, this is a tricky one to find sound effects for. Because he has to say a few things, and that's always... Maybe start with this. So he's like... No, actually, it needs something short. Just like initial, So... Another one for here, something smooth. Maybe that sounds a bit too... Let's swap those. That does look quite good for when he's looking up. Maybe make it a little earlier. So this is just... I wonder if I should cut to a scene of the top of the minecart ride, just to show it off. That seems like that would be sensible, wouldn't it? Now I need to try and find a good video bit for that. It needs to be at the right weather as well. So I think I have some of where Mario goes up to the top. Where would that be? Oh, these are in... That's why I was getting a strange order. Duration order. Okay. When does Mario go up to the top? That's just here, I think. What I'll aim to do is, this is coming up to a stop point here, so I'll just edit up to this particular clip here. So where is Mario climbing up the top? I think that's just after here. I didn't know it was possible if we want to play one of Bowser's minions. But I don't know what kind of voice you've got. I'll have to take a look, but yeah, I've not really looked much into getting people to voice act for things. It's generally been pretty like close. The main thing I do need is like female voices, so I often end up making characters male when they have to speak because then I can do the voice, which sounds a bit strange, but where is it that he's like on the minecart right at the top? That must be here, right? Must be one of these. Because I can just take a clip of that. Yeah, here we go. So that's him actually on the top. Maybe I take this bit, but where Mari's not in it. I don't like the angle actually. It's not really the angle that they'd be looking at, so I think I'll just leave it.
Wow!
So let's put these back in duration order. Where did I get music? I usually just search for it, generally Google, or you can also, there are ways you can get it off YouTube, but it's whatever works out the best, I suppose. So is that right? The Mary needs to say something. I'm not unsure if I'm going to keep it quite as long there, but one of these hmms probably. I think Kamek could actually use one of his longer sounds here.
Wow! Meow meow! Why?
Some of these sound quite annoying. I don't like using that one much, for example.
Meow meow! Wow!
So yeah, this longer laughter one. It seems kind of like, yes, we've got... Okay. So yeah, let's time that a bit more with one. Maybe it seems too evil. I don't know. Maybe if I make
Oh yeah!
Mary say, "Oh yeah," first, it seems a bit less evil.
Oh yeah!
I could even cut this just because there's quite a lot of them just staring.
Oh yeah!
Or maybe just cut it before they look back, you know. Just... Yeah, let's cut this here. That's a better idea. So let's trim this a little more. But probably not quite that much because then it looks like they're like looking at the... Yeah, so I need the music to fade out before they're looking at it. Okay, right. So yeah, okay, that's almost done. I just need one more Mario sound effect. I think.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Maybe you could even go with hello.
Hello! Hello!
Yeah, I might just redo some of these timings slightly so they're not... Yep, okay, I think that is looking good now. So I'm gonna save that here and probably head on off to eat. So yeah, I think I'll just edit the rest of this off the screen. So I hope you're looking forward to this episode, which should be out this week. Am I getting a DK plush? Not anytime soon, I guess. I don't have plans to. I think I probably need to play more DK games before I learn all about DK, but yeah. So, yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and maybe I'll see you for another stream at some point. I think I'd probably like to stream a filming of the next episode in, well, there won't be in this series, but just some of the filming anyway, from whatever we decide to do next in Minecraft. Could be interesting. I don't think I can really stream filming a plush video, but I do know a way I could do it with a Minecraft video. So that will probably come in, like, I guess a couple of months. It's not like I think I'm likely to take a bit of a break after this one, because it's been quite intense with having a full-time job as well and stuff. So thanks. You have a good one too. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time then. See you for the video. Yeah, don't forget to check out my Blue Sky and Twitter and anything else that I've linked to. Instagram, that's the other one. So you can see the latest updates that we got, and you'll learn a little bit more about the Enderman as well that's in this episode. Cool. Alright, thanks everyone. See you then.